the jungle pressure last game was that once they had established, we took your red, they kept coming back to it every time it spawned. There was always a fight over that red buff because they didn't want Gilius to have a single one. And that was part of the jungle pressure. You get the red buff out of the hands of Jarvan, it's kind of hard for him to continually chase you down.
Well, we got to see what happens here because look at this, H2K Gaming. Morgana ban, Orianna banned themselves, and Cinder coming through.
They have a different first pick in mind here.
Yeah.
So I think that Maokai
Rengar
will be your last ban if you're Unicorns of Love. If it's not, it's going to get picked up. And if that's banned, then it's probably going to be Rengar.
Or do you leave both and hope something better can be grabbed here? Cassid, of course, not a big threat from these guys, although interestingly, H2K, they banned it in Game 2, got to pick it second round in Game 1, and it's back up here in Game 3. Do they also get tempted by Cassid?
No, they're going to go Rengar.
Yeah, just even later on, though.
Here's the thing, though, is the Caston was banned against Power of Evil last time, so are they just going to pick that up on Unicorns of Love first rotation?
Orianna's gone. Now, to be fair, Orianna was the champion that beat up Cassid here in Game 1, right? So that could allow H2K to get Cassid with less of a lane bully opponent. Maybe that works. Now, I actually like UOL grabbing Cog early. They could Cog Trist, deny hypercarries from Hjarnan. Jinx is disabled right now. And of course, Power of Evil plays mid-cog. I don't know if you blind pick mid-cog.
He did that before, I believe.
It was blind?
I think he picked it pretty early on, and then they were like, okay, no, it's a blind pick Kog'Maw.
The question is, though, are you okay playing a really scary no-escape mid laner against a Rengar?
I don't know. Here's the thing, though. If you're H2K, you pick up your Tristana this rotation just because you're afraid of that happening?
I don't know, because they could have picked Trist right here.
Yeah.
Right? There was no threat for Lee Sin being taken. UOL, I think they just want to deny Cog from Hjarnan and hope that's enough for them and have the option to move it around. This is why I like Cog. It's just room for UOL. You don't have to deny Trist. I might have called that myself if I were on the team, but it's UOL saying, look, this Cog can go either place. We can test out the lane matchups and threaten it either way.
I'm just saying that H2K would most likely take Tristana this rotation, just so Unicorns of Love don't take it and have that flex pick for themselves.
And Vardax can't find a late game champion for himself that's not Cog, and they can kind of force it down.
What if Curse Gaming was just like, Boy plays AP, Kog'Maw mid, and AD Tristana, so they pick
anything.
They pick both of them, and it's like, which one's going where?
Yep. Well, Trist Nami comes through. Going to be AOD's second Nami in a row now, I believe. He played it in the last time around. He was actually playing in Summer Series 2 as well. But there's the bot lane. Trist Nami, very scary. Unicorns of Love still have to look at their top lane and mid lane picks. They have to show us support and one of these other solo lanes now at this point. I think they still look for that York vs Mundo matchup if possible, though. I think you leave top lane open for sure, and you force your mid to go blind because it worked so darn well last time.
Yeah, Mundo seems to be contested in this series. Irelia is something that Vizicachi always wants to get his hands on and was banned last time.
Oh, he's going to blind pick the York instead. Interesting. So Braum coming through against Nami. Braum Cog is a reasonably good lane, but I think it's pushed around a little bit by Trist Nami, though. I feel like it's a little bit difficult for UOL, unless they can get the ganks to happen. I do want to talk about Gilius picking Lee Sin more, though. We were talking about the flex picks. I like him going for an early game bully of Lee Sin. I think he can outfight Rengar in the one-on-one, and I think that this can help stymie H2K's early game aggression. I mean, in both cases, early game jungle pressure won the game, and so the more you can focus on that, the better you can set up your lanes. Yeah,
I like that emphasis of that champion, and then in comparison to Rengar, tons of escapes, tons of gap closers, easy to close in and then keep him close.
Right. Looks like they will opt into the Mundo versus Yorick anyway.
We saw this matchup before, though.
I know, and it didn't go well for H2K, but Hjarnan is going to lock in this Mundo for Odoamne. Ahri mid for Febiven. 3 champs in 3 games. Cass in game 1 got crushed. Orianna in game 2 dominated. And now a blind pick Ahri here in game 3.
He's feeling confident. And here's the thing, too, is if it's an AP Kog'Maw versus Ahri,
still could be.
It's kind of difficult for Kog'Maw to land any abilities on her post 6.
It's True.
She will just wrap around you, close that distance. She doesn't really care about the Void Ooze.
Yeah, he can't self-peel.
Yes, exactly. She will get in on him, and it's a really good counter to that matchup.
Oh, Unicorns will have to make the choice there.
What?
Oh, okay. Here's why I like it. So we talked about this in game 1.
All right.
Cassiopeia plus York is a really good combo because she belts out damage. When she dies, she comes back and then keeps belting out damage.
Yep.
High damage comp for UOL, supported by a Braum York frontline.
Wow. So Power of Evil.
And nothing you kill stays dead.
Exactly. Oh, okay. Yeah. The Omen of Death.
Right. And even just Kog'Maw being a Kog'Maw.
Yes. Exactly. He will come back up and at least do some damage with the passive. But yeah, Power of Evil, he's whipped out the AP Kog'Maw. He's whipping out the Cassiopeia now. Friggin' hype on that one. Cassiopeia versus Ahri. Not too great for Ahri in the early game.
Yeah, and I think, so we talked about Cog having self-peel here. I think Cassiopeia has a much easier time here mid to late against Ahri, because when she goes in, you just toss the ulti out. And there's a really good chance you actually lock Ahri up with that stun. Yeah, okay, you'll be charmed while the stun comes out probably, but generally speaking, I feel like it works pretty well as the Cassiopeia. Could be proven wrong. We don't see her very much, but I have high hopes for this. Yeah,
and she also has really good wave clear with her miasma. She's very good at actually, as long as you hit one spell, the rest are going to follow up, kind of like AP Urgot.
Yeah, and I want to see what build he goes for, because we don't see a ton of Cassiopeia, but there are a lot of ways to play it. So there's a really tanky build where you rely on Riley's Leandries.
Which Riley's did get buffed in AP, reduced in HP.
100 AP, I think it's 400 health now, but yeah, it's 20 more ability power. So you can go for a tankier sort of burn-based build, or you can go for, I believe it's like tier like death cap kind of, and you just have the mana pool and just a bunch of burst damage. Yes. The big thing about Cassiopeia is CDR is not a very good stat on her. It's ineffective on the E for the resets. Q, it doesn't stack anyway, the poison, and the base cooldown's the same as the duration on the poison in the first place, so more poisons don't really help. It gives you a couple more miasmas, and it gives you maybe another ult sooner, but you generally rely on tier for mana and then a bunch of ability power and durability. I want to see how he goes for it.
Yeah, and the fact that her passive will cut mana costs as long as you get some out and have the mana to use the ability.
It's so easy to stack tier on her.
Oh yeah. Spam abilities all the time.
Oh, that's my quote. That's a Phreak reference right there.
They say the key to beauty lies
we never see her, so I never get to point it out.
What do you think?
Just
one more taunt, come on. In case you guys missed it.
30 seconds.
Scumbag Power of Evil.
Wow.
You know what? Whatever. You know, I'm done. UOL's gonna lose.
Did it like once or twice.
I know. Well, that was the joke a couple times, though. When he hops around, it's the joke. When she crawls on the ground and gestures, that's the taunt.
And what does she say with the Phreak quote?
She says, "You think I'm a freak? Let me get on your level." And she has one other quote too, I think. I think she has that's a I think a rare taunt. There's another one she normally does.
Anyway, the Cassiopeia, very, very rare sight here on the Summoner's Rift.
Hey, I mean, Rengar likes to hunt rare game, you know, it's the thrill of the hunt. Never killed a Cassiopeia before. Oh, sorry, the pronunciation is Cassiopeia. It's not like Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia.
Sounds like a city, right? Like in the future, everything's nice and green and full of snakes.
Like a metropolis,
right?
Snakes. Anyway, Mundo hanging off on the side right now. Odoamne gonna trek up to the top lane. He's gonna miss a few creeps, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna be a little bit far down, but he wanted to make sure nothing cheeky happened in this lane right there. Power of Evil playing very aggressive early on. Of course, Rengar's low threat pre-6 to him, so Power of Evil gonna play pretty aggressively. Did run Ignite, wants to play his lane out. Has a few more minions in this wave, though, but Fevivin, you can see, playing pretty far back in this.
Yeah,
it's pretty much Q last hitting only.
As soon as Cassiopeia hits 2, which is about to happen,
yeah, one more minion away.
You have to be pretty far back, because as soon as she lands one of her Noxus blasts...
Noxious.
Noxious.
Yep.
It'll land a lot of twin bangs. There you go.
Yeah, I've also seen Max Q and Max E for Cassiopeia.
Yeah. She's also Katarina's sister.
True. Did you know?
Bet you didn't know that one.
I didn't.
No, I know. Wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the general populace.
Oh, yes. My bad. Sorry. Of course.
There's a Reddit thread about lore, so I'm like, here's your lore lesson for the day.
Days related.
Same daddy.
assume so. They never
Yeah.
said if she was adopted, but I would assume they're biological sisters.
No, I think they are biological.
I would assume so.
I don't know if Noxans are nice enough to adopt.
Adopt? Hey, man. I mean, I don't know. I have nothing to say about that, actually. There's nothing even going to be said at the end of that sentence.
Anyway, there's another lore matchup going on. It's H2K versus UOL.
Yes.
The UOL already have a decent gold lead, about 200 now. That's actually staying pretty firm.
You're seeing mid and top are really bullying right here.
Yeah,
Solo lane's working
pushing.
great for Unicorns of Love.
But bottom lane, it's the complete opposite. We see H2K shoving up with the Tristana.
H2K pushing him in, and look at this. You're seeing equal number of CS on the field, so it's just a direct 6 minion lead that Kog'Maw can't equalize for some time. Bubble, ooh,
Whoa.
nice block by Hillsong, but it still lands on the backside. I didn't know it actually went for full AoE when it actually hits on Braum, but now I know.
that was
Never seen a double
like
knockdown.
a stand inside me instead of stand behind me. Like,
much.
let's go up together. Whee!
But it's still, man, it's a lead for H2K's bot lane. The early pick on Kog'Maw, the deny, doesn't seem to matter too much because Zirene is getting a bunch of CS and pushing this Kog in. Vardog's going to have to respect this a little bit.
Yeah. Vardak, this bottom lane, we talked about it. And just think that Hjarnan does have the edge here. And even in the game that they lost, he was holding true in CS. He's holding up. There's really a Feathervin that was 100 CS down early. Trashy couldn't have an impact. And then the top lane got rolled over by the early game of Yorick. And now
man.
Gilius is looking for some influence here.
Power of Evil has a potential freeze in the mid lane if he wants it. He's actually got his minion wave outnumbered there. Same for this top lane for Zachachi as well. Feathervin's already down 11 CS in this matchup, and it could get worse.
Ooh, Trashy sees where Gilius is. Wow,
Again.
AOD.
Yeah, that guy's landing some bubbles, but the bot lane is actually stabilizing a little bit in CS here, whereas the rest, oh, that's a good charm. Can they get on Power of Evil? Ignite is on. He might have to flash something.
If Trashy tries to
Flash.
pull a...
Good.
Ooh. Flash off to the side there by Power of Evil. Really risky play from being that
Look
far
at
up.
the early back for Odwamna, though. He was forced to back off of a pretty bad minion wave.
Yeah.
Only got a chain vest, whereas we have the same tier plus single door and start for Vizichachi. He's going to feel pretty good in this matchup, scaling up on Mundo, who doesn't have any bonus MR.
Yes, exactly. The Mundo, he's going to be taking a lot of extra damage, but the thing is he has the chain vest, and York's kind of mixed on what he does. Like his magic damage is what ends up coming out when he auto attacks you. I mean, when he uses some ghouls on you.
Yeah.
And then his auto attack is actually substantial.
Hillsong really wants that battle, though. I'm surprised you played so aggressively there, but really does it there. Just jumps in onto Hjarnan. Vardog's good safe CS. There's still a 2 minion difference. So for what it's worth, H2K are winning, but it's by a token amount here. Mid lane, 19-42, by the way.
But here's the difference. Look at this. Look at this. 700 gold difference already
Laning phase.
in this laning phase.
The difficulty is there's no flash on Power of Evil. He has the ulti for safety, but Trashy will hit level 6 within a minute, well within the flash timer. Power of Evil could very much be first blood in a minute and a half here.
We'll have to see what ends up happening there, because this gold difference is actually pretty big for UOL. It's almost as if they got a solo kill first blood somewhere.
Oh, Dwamna's so easily killable too. He's got his ward for safety just timed out. His trinket is down. He's level 6, sure, but Gilius, if he gets any XP on him and gets level 5 or 6, he can totally fully out this Mundo.
We see Feathervin backs. He gets himself some potions as well as wards to cover. There's Odwamna popping the ultimate just for the regen, because this matchup is really bully-oriented from the Yorick side early.
And he's got a Cassiopeia to revive later on. So Power of Evil is going Haunting, guys. So it looks like the slightly tankier burning-based build for the Snake Lady. Minions dying out. Hillsong and Vardog still trying to see as best they can. They have not backed yet.
Wow.
Level.
AOD. Normally it stands for Angel of Death. It's got to be like the Archbishop of Destruction right now, or Disruption.
Disruption.
There you go.
Yep.
Lots of bubbles.
Displacement.
There you go. Archbishop of Displacement.
Why not?
The highest of the highs, the holiest of the holies.
Yes.
The Archbishop of Displacement.
There you go.
The Archbishop's on the rift.
Yes.
Show your respect.
Why not?
I mean, he could be an Angel of Death.
I mean, as a support, it's kind of weird,
Yeah.
but he's making other people die.
He's offering them up, you know?
It's true. Here, on a silver platter.
Silver bubble. Trashy.
No wonder they're banning Morgana.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Getting the Angel of Death off the field. Trashy is level 6. He does have full ferocity right now, and he knows that Power of Evil has no flash. There we go. He's going for it. Will he get it? He's inching out.
1 minute of Power of Evil. How did he sense
And he
that
grows
one?
it.
Oh, it's still going to land though. Yes, he gets the stun on a Febivin. He's trying to run though, but will he dodge enough CC? He will not. First blood goes through. Trashy makes the gank work. Nice job burning the flash. Nice job making the gank work.
Trashy actually bola'd a minion there with the first bola coming out.
Wow.
Yes. The charm is what ended up landing right before the stun that caused him to stay in range, so Power of Evil ended up going down. Big play there.
Capitalized right away on this dragon. This is good stuff by them. Trashy had to wait till 6 to make it work, but he got level 6. He got the gank in. He was not held down by Gilius, and they get a dragon and a 1,000 gold lead because of it.
That's exactly what they needed, because they were struggling in the laning phase for a bit, because mid lane down about 10 CS before that happened. Top lane down about 20. And now Gilius, he's actually coming behind Odwamna. He's going to kick him.
Kicks Odwamna into the team. His flash is still up there. Pops the ulti, flashes, but doesn't need to. Vizichachi gets the kill and the summoner lead.
You need to flash earlier than that. Possibly to the other side of Mundo. You never know.
Yeah.
Or the other side of
Lee Sin, yeah.
Go. Other side of himself.
Kind of how flash always works.
Yeah. You would hope. Doesn't always work. Sometimes you flash in place.
It's true. You're next to a wall. You don't go all the way across. But Febivin, we could lose it to red buff. I think he still got it, though. Nope. Wait. Yeah. Okay, sorry. That.
Yep.
Rengar had blue buff from killing Power of Evil, so I got really confused when he had a blue buff on him. But Febivin did get that. Power of Evil did get himself the Wraith Camp. Haunting Guys is done. Actually, Febivin has closed it back to a 5 CS game. So Trashy relieved a lot of pressure there with that game.
Yarn it. Not taking the auto attacks. The Braum passive. Needs to be more emphasis on this top lane, and Trashy looks like he might deliver. He has his ultimate available. He has the 5 Frosty. Looking for it. Trashy's a go.
Vizichachi has flash. Odwamna does not. He sees that Rengar's coming. Flashes the bola. But that is a basically 2-minute cooldown for a 5-minute cooldown.
Yeah. If you're any good at math, it's worth.
True.
5 minus 2, worth.
I didn't know that worth was equal to 3.
Sometimes it is. It's lucky number worth.
Good to know. Lucky number worth. All right.
Power of Evil has no pressure in this mid lane, so he's able to just bully out Febivin. And we've had some quality mid laners, some quality top laners all throughout the European Challenger Series. Power of Evil, Febivin, Alex Each. Even if you just swap it over to SKP, you have the wonderful Wata Fox. And then in the top lane, you have all this talent of Odwamna, Vizichachi, and then the rest of the people we've seen today.
Riven main.
Oh yes, J.
He's my favorite to cast because he plays Riven. And it's just like...
all the time.
Goes 0-3, wins lane. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Oh.
It's great because I start my lanes 0-3 as well.
He wins by feeding.
Uh-oh, well, Gilius is sending on a ward.
Yeah, Trashy has his
might not
ultimate
win
again.
for him. They're going to go and dive with Odwamna anyway. Kicks him into the wall. Q's going to land. Do they have the damage? Because here comes Trashy. They've got to be pretty careful. This one, Gilius flashes away, gets the shadow, though. The revive is on. Is it going to be enough, though? Wants the damage. Q lands, gets the damage from the grave, kills off Trashy. Now Odwamna is slowed down, but there's the TP. Vizichachi's like, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah, he has to TP away because Ahri's coming up. Exactly. Febivin roamed. He doesn't want to be in that lane against the Cassiopeia, against Power of Evil for a very long time. And look at that, the bullying down bottom, because there's so much action across all other parts of the map. They just leave this bottom lane, which is in H2K's favor, just based off of individual skill and matchup.
Yep.
And it just ends up with a turret and an advantage.
And you're seeing Unicorns of Love, while they're doing pretty well on their lanes. A dragon and a turret kill means a 1,200 gold lead for H2K. A win in this game puts you in the LCS promotion tournament. It's a battle against SK Prime for first place.
And bragging rights.
A lot of bragging rights.
Flexing your muscles, making sure that you might be picked last from the LCS teams. You face the Copenhagen Wolves. These playoffs mean so much for the future of these two teams.
It really does.
And all 6 teams that were involved.
We'll only have 3 at the very end of it all. We're down to 4. We already know one of our winners. We'll be seeing SK Prime in about a month, fighting for an LCS spot.
We'll see them in
Who will
2
join
days.
them? We will also see them in the finals in 2 days. One of these 2 teams will be joining them, and then one of these 2 teams or NIP will make the 3rd. Trashy looking for his way into the top lane. He does not get spotted, and he has his ultimate. Wards watch for counter ganks, none are available. Look how many freaking wards are on this eastern jungle. Dragon is completely secure for H2K. They have been playing a vision game almost
Trashy's
entirely.
around.
Gilius walking right into Trashy, lands the Q though, trying to fight back, forces the ulti out of Trashy. Out they go. Bebevin, do you chase? No.
There's a minute on that dragon.
That's actually pretty good for UOL.
Oh,
They did not want to get engaged on. This is actually a lot of summoners, or sorry, a lot of important ultimates down from H2K by the time Dragon comes up.
yeah, and no summoners blown from UOL. Actually, Vizichachi wants to be a part of this fight. He treks his way down and leaves Odwamna up in the top.
I think they got the timer wrong. They're 30 seconds early on Dragon here. They're grouping up a little bit for the mid lane, but there's nothing to really fight for right now. They're going to get ward control, but you've got 20 seconds of Odwamna pushing top lane, killing a turret, and then TPing down.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to kill this fairly quickly.
They don't have timer. Look how long they're waiting around.
Yeah, it's taking them quite a long time, and they can poke Gilius here.
Top lane adder goes down because of this roam. They'll kill some wards, but they're going to be able to be collapsed upon.
It's up now.
Odwamna's going to recall, heal, and he can TP right in with ulti.
And there are wards placed behind UOL from the earlier placement. Trashy doesn't have his ultimate yet, but where's the TP?
Teleport. They can burn it down, though. They can kill this really fast. Trashy in the other wings. There we go. Dragon
They
gets
got
picked
Gilius.
up. Gilius is rooted. Nice ulti from Power People. Goes back on to Trash, but he's getting hit by Hjarnan right now. Flashes the wall. First kill picked up. Hjarnan now separated. In comes Alright. Blocks everything from the shield, though. And Gilius now in the middle of this mix. Damage comes down to Odwamna. Can they chase him? Nice briefcase going to slow down Power People. Hylissang got to be careful on this Braum. Q lands. Gilius, can he make any more plays? Flash forced by Odwamna. Bubble onto Vardogs, but that is a kill. And the Dragon UOL ties the game up.
The fact that H2K didn't have Trashy's ultimate and didn't have AOD's ultimate were huge. They needed that disruption, and they needed that pick with the extra ferocity on somebody like Power of Evil or Vardags. He couldn't close the distance to Dragons, and now they're sieging up this mid lane turret.
They're doing some pretty good damage on it right now, down below half HP, but the respawns are coming in. Thing is, AOD are like out of health and mana. Unicorns of Love are low, but they do not want to risk this. They don't want to tempt fate, get jumped on by a full ferocity Rengar. They're going to back off. Gilius to grab red buff, cash in his conservation stacks. And Unicorns of Love will go back to the laning phase.
Really, Power of Evil just has Spell Pen at this point, and pretty much negates the Athenes and Holy Grail. It's just some extra AP, cooldown reduction in the face of Cassiopeia.
Rylai's.
And it is a Rylai's. He is going to go for the burn build here on Cassiopeia.
It'll make him very durable. He had to burn Flash last fight because of Hjarnan hitting him. Now, thankfully for him, that Flash will be back up for the next Dragon, but also it means for the next 3 to 4 minutes, Trashy can make him die.
Yes, he can get on him with his
Trashy
ultimate.
Bebevin.
He can probably get
destroy that guy.
1 or 2 ganks off in that time.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
With that cooldown reduction, he's got 2.
Oh yeah, some power spikes here. The IE out for Hjarnan, but the Trinity Force for Vardags. So it looks like they're going to send him mid and have the Trinity Force chunking on turrets be their aim.
REQ is on cooldown. There's the push on in. Charm's not going to land. Turret in the mid lane goes down. The first of the game for UOL. Putting the game back to tied. Looks like some farm caught H2K up for a while. Bot lane has a big wave that no one's touching right now and is about to crash into UOL's turret. There we go. Okay, Cog's going.
17 minutes into this game, even across the board in terms of gold.
Yeah, you're within 10 CS in every matchup. Support's not counting because it's free. Turrets are 1 apart. Dragons are equal. This is anyone's game right now.
It's waiting for the next big team fight here. How are they preparing for these? You see the Rylai's is being rushed, the blue being picked up by Power of Evil. At the same time, looks like I think DFG would be what Forbidden would go for next. Try to assassinate somebody and pick them off.
I wonder, actually. I don't know if I see a lot of DFG Athene's builds, though.
Yeah, usually you don't, but it'll give you the max cooldown reduction. And some burst potential.
I wonder.
He may just go DFG, he may go for the Zonias so he can go deeper.
One thing that's actually really helpful for UOL is that all of Ari's damage is skill shot based. It's actually very easy to block with Braum. You can block all the extra ult shots, you can stop the Q from coming back, so you actually miss out on the true damage. And I'm actually pretty going to be interesting to see how much Halo-san can do about this here. Honestly, Ari could be cut off from dealing much damage.
Yeah, if the Unbreakable comes up and he blocks it, it could be a disaster. So we'll end up having to see. It's a little bit, it's really stressful. Like being in that situation as a player, you have so much on the line. You are in your do or die game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you lose this, you do go down to the 3rd, 4th place match, but you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be secure in the finals as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Like that is an extremely stressful situation to be in. And the fact that nobody's run away with the game just makes it even more tense. And the later the game goes, the more your mistakes are worth.
That's true. And I think this is why we're seeing them basically play these measured dragon fights mostly. Because you've played enough games here. Both these teams have played together for a while. You know you can't just lie down and be like, we'll let them take every objective. That's not an okay way to play the game. You'll lose out, you'll get behind in gold, and you'll get picked off. But it's also so hard to be like, all right, guys, wait in this brush, like go for a random pick, go for this dive here, because you know you could throw the game away on a low percentage play. So I kind of expect us to see them play around their cooldowns really heavily. Rengar is the guy to initiate things. I think the only aggression you see from H2K is just from Trashy. I think he is the guy who will be, I'll press R, I'll see what's around, follow me up. Because the ulti reveals guys around, he'll know if they're going to get counter-ganked, it's pretty safe. On the other side, though, I think it's hard for UOL to make low-risk plays. They have exactly 2 members with move blocks. Yorick's immobile, Cassiopeia is immobile, and Kog'Maw's immobile. If they misstep, they are caught. 100% they are caught. And so that's a very big risk where Ari can chase you down and Rengar can chase you down. So UOL have 2 modes, and it's Siege a turret, and they've got long range, so they can do it. They've got zoning tools as well, and it's set up for a Baron or a Dragon. And that is all they can do.
Yes.
And they have to play around the respawn timers of Dragons and around the minion waves to push in. And I think UOL will have to just have that very slow patient style, whereas H2K can make a lot happen.
Yeah, and H2K has more of a pick type composition going for them with team fight on the backside between Trist and the Mundo. So it's kind of like we want to avoid fights for UOL unless we're sieging or getting an objective. They're very objective-oriented in this competition. That's why they've moved up so early on in the game at tiny power spikes for them that they have over their opponent. Basically like Trinity Force, Kog'Maw, stronger than IE Tristana. That type of thing. So they're already grouping at just 1 item to try and push that advantage. And you go over to H2K, they're looking to pick people off. They don't even have their burst items just yet. So this composition is really about the CC part of it with the Rengar and then the Ari following up. And Yarnan will do some damage, but he's not even close to even, I would argue, his first item power spike. Like, IE is good,
yeah,
but the fact that Kog'Maw is at Trinity Force already is a better spike for him.
Yeah, ultimately 1 and 2 item Kog'Maw are both very effective. 1 item Trist, you kind of rely on getting lucky. One thing I actually do when I play Tristana is I stop getting poison rapid fire around level 3, because that way I can have rank 5 rapid fire on Infinity Edge, and then I actually have a meaningful damage over it.
You mean explosive shot or rapid fire?
Huh? On rapid fire. I have rank 5 rapid fire when I have Infinity.
So you stop putting points in explosive shot?
Yes,
okay,
at 3. Did I say that backwards?
I think you said rapid fire.
Okay, yeah. I only go to like rank 3 or maybe rank 4 explosive shot, and I max rapid fire pretty early. So I think that actually also stops some of the mid-game lull of Tristana if you can get 90% attack speed by level 9 or 10.
And it's free.
Yeah, exactly. And it's up often enough. And you have 100-something AD, you've got some pretty good stats there behind it. But not the case. Yarn then is, I actually like this a lot, going Phantom. Actually, not necessarily. That could be for boots. But in a lot of cases, I like Phantom Dancer more than Static Shiv when I have a magic damage top laner as well.
Watch out.
Trash is going to get queued on. There's the engage. Ooh, good flash to get away from the kick.
Oh, he gets him.
Gilius still wants him in this fight, though. Peppermint shows up. Gilius takes a whole bunch of damage, and Braum can not quite save him. But Yarn then goes down to a great ult from Cassiopeia. Kog'Maw now in the chase as well, but they just get the 2 for 1.
And up top, Odwamna is actually dueling Vizicachi with 2 of him. We've seen this before.
Though. He is kiting around his clone and blocking the cleavers out. The regen for Odwamna, not nearly enough. He is forced away. They trade ours, and Vizicachi gets the better of it.
Wow. Hashtag Yorick mechanics. You didn't think they existed, but they do.
Man. He played that really well. Against skill shots, honestly, against a Mundo, you can dodge his abilities, and it worked so incredibly well. Going back and forth, this dragon is going to go down, but now there is AOD looking for the flank there. Odwamna very close to going down. Vizicachi, can he get the last few ghouls? And yes, he can. Gets the 1-on-1 kill. Now forced to run away from this Nami. Dodges the bubble as well, and he's got backup coming.
Wow. So AOD wraps around the long way, and that ends up costing Odwamna his entire life.
So H2K, man, they had a pretty good start to this game. They got a couple of ganks coming through, set themselves back up. They got the dragon to get themselves up in gold, but Unicorns of Love have made good plays as a team over and over, and their dueling power is really good. This Yorick into Dr. Mundo matchup is working great. Unicorns of Love are poised to make this game 3 theirs with a 3,000 gold lead.
And for Bevan completing his Deathfire grasp, he's now ready to start assassinating people and taking them off the map. He has reached one of his power spikes. But then on the flip side, Power Evil, Rylai's, and Leandri's completed now for himself.
And so now suddenly it is pretty hard to chase people down if you are Dr. Mundo. You are running through gigantic slow fields that make your life painful. You're running through taking % health burn damage the entire time. And Power of Evil has 2,200 health, 42 MR, 68 armor. He's not a tank, but he's at least not going to get one shot.
Yeah, you'd have to land pretty much every Ahri ability solely on him and all charges of your Spirit Rush.
Yeah, it is DFG Ahri, by the way. I'm surprised by that, but it's the choice here. No Sword Shoes yet, so he actually really needs some Magic Bent to deal more damage. But he will actually be able to chunk the Cassiopeia fairly well. See if that happens. The beginnings of Blade of the Rune King coming in for Vardog, so he will continue to do very well at cutting through champions like Mundo.
Yeah, Mundo, he hasn't been doing too well for himself, especially in comparison to Vizicachi, who's doing astronomically well on that Yorick. One of the best Yoriks I've seen.
Absolutely 2-0-1, getting solo kills in his lane now at this point. You're seeing the wave clear rather strong from UOL. Like, Kog'Maw plus Cassiopeia is so darn good at that. Minions get slowed down multiple times, they don't have to go anywhere, and they just take a bunch of their health and damage. So, sieging hard for H2K, I think they really have to play around their Rengar ultimates, they have to play around the picks. The problem is they're being pressured in by the Yorick. So as long as Vizicachi holds ward control, there's no easy way for H2K to break that split push game, because I don't think it gets any better for Mundo. I think it continues to start losing out as the Tear of the Goddess charges up and Manamune gains more damage.
And especially since he'll be able to use the Omen of Death on himself and just have another version that blocks all of the cleavers. Like, if Odwamna was in a vacuum and he could just throw cleavers at him and hit every one of them, his damage output would be much higher and he'd be able to win the duels. But the fact that the Omen of Death is there, here's the thing though. How's Trashy going to get in there?
He tried, but it's not going to happen there.
Scared him away.
Nothing at all picked up, man. H2K are trying to play around that, but you just see UOL playing against the Rengar really nicely. Kog'Maw still pushing the bot lane. They already knew Rengar was on the other side. He's actually got ward control to watch for any possible flank. Like, he sees Trist right now, knows he's safe. Bot lane push is going to happen no matter what. UOL, though, going to get jumped into the mid lane. Look at that. The ball gets stopped by Hylissang. Takes a bunch of damage, pops a bunch of ultis, but that is the first kill picked up there by Odwamna. Bottom lane out of turret goes down, but H2K gets the kill.
Wow, so they collapse onto the fight there. AOD with the engage from the side, but it was really the charm that got Hylissang to die. Wow, at the same time though, Vizicachi, he's going to get himself some damage on this tier 2 just by split pushing, and they're going with really a 1-3-1.
Yeah, and this team is there to defend him, so there's no flank potential there at all. Vizichachi takes a bit of damage, but he can heal that one right back up. And this turret now under heavy fire from Cassiopeia now as well. You got to be careful, though. They are a bit outnumbered with their support still dead. Looks like no engage really going to come through. It's still taking damage. Unicorns of Love really like trying to siege to win their game. And you can see when there's no way to get that free fight, they just try so hard to knock down turrets.
Yeah, they're splitting their siege too, and then having it be, we have 3 members in the middle, we have 1 on each of the side lanes, and as soon as one of the side lanes pushes up, that mid lane that was pushed rotates and wraps around to the other side lane, whether it be top or bottom. You give yourself a lot of options in this play, but you need the ward coverage to back it up.
The problem now as well is that H2K bought enough time to, I think, power up. Because you've got the 2 item spike now done for Tristana, which means Vardogs can no longer easily win the one-on-ones. Even with Ruin King done, Ruin King is not as good as Shiv in this kind of a matchup, when you're facing an AD carry especially. So Zirene now, I think, wins that 1v1, barring horrible crit luck. But you see Febiven have to carry a lot of Power of Evil's damage. You can see Magic Pen Riley as Cassiopeia is pretty scary.
Yeah, it shreds a whole bunch, especially against somebody like Mundo. He'll have a lot of persistent damage, and the slow factor of it means that if you get hit by 1 Cassiopeia ability, you're most likely not getting away, because she's going to continually hit you with more and slow you.
Yep, she speeds herself up, she slows you down.
Exactly. Another thing on top of that, in terms of item power spikes, Vizichachi has the Muramana completed. He's ready to just start dueling people. He's going for the split push team fight tank, the contribution.
He's going for the split push.
Extra member.
He's going Triforce, man.
Oh yeah, he is going just full split push there.
So the Spirit Visage I like because CDR is a good stat on him. Getting more ghouls out is great. Getting the health back is great as well. And R is a great stat against Dr. Mundo. But now the Trinity Force comes in. It's interesting he didn't go for a Iceborne Gauntlet instead. This is higher damage, but Iceborne lets you chase people, and it's a bit tankier, but he says, nope, I want the damage output. Now Dragon attempted one more time. Both teleports are up. Unicorns of Love start this first. They do have a 3,000 gold lead, and they
can't stop Vizichachi.
Top lane turret goes down, and now with a battle begin, neither top laner can stop TPs. There's the engagement of Hillsong.
Oh my god, they killed him.
Right now, it is the Dragon going over to H2K, and now who can win the fight? Sharna gets exploded by Power of Evil. The fight is continuing.
Taunted.
The ulti popped onto Vardogs to keep him respawning in this one, and they will try to chase down onto Odwamna. But it is a, looks like 3-for-1 so far. Vizichachi trying to chase down Febiven. Odwamna gonna take a fair bit of damage. This should be a kill for the Cassiopeia. Yes, indeed. And now Vizichachi's still on the chase. Febiven so close to dead.
Oh, he flashed
away from the bubble. The heal comes out though, and he's not gonna win the duel. One more spell. Almost gets it, but no, the shutdown to AOD. That is a 4-2 plus the Dragon for H2K.
That was so close. Just on the overall, an amazing team fight from both teams. The Dragon does go over to H2K, though, with the smite of Trashy that starts off the fight here. Hylissang, taunted, completely destroyed. Vardags over here. Febiven is just skill-shotting out of his mind right now. Lands the charm, lands the Orb of Deception. After he used the Orb of Deception over on Gilius, Odwamna, he spends his time running around, and AOD was already zoned up. So he's trying to find his way back into this fight, and he decides, I gotta save Febiven. The flash of the bubble was great, but then Vizichachi gets charmed and doesn't overcommit to it. But it ends up costing his life anyway, because he had a moment of hesitation.
Yeah, the heal coming out of AOD saved his life instead of that 1-for-1 getting 1. Instead of being 3-for-3, 4-for-2. The revived Kog'Maw did plenty of damage, did help knock down the Dr. Mundo, but can only do so much.
Wow. Febiven just skill-shotted out of his mind on those last couple of plays. Multiple charms all landing, Orb of Deception, full damage back and forth. Really just...
And now a blue buff.
MVP of that little fight.
Yeah, completely agree. Gilius had smited incredibly early in that Dragon attempt, by the way. You saw that smite come down rather premature in that Dragon attempt, and then try the DPS down afterwards. Of course, a great steal did come through for Trashy afterwards.
I feel like too much damage pulled off, but look at this, Trashy looking for an engage.
They're going to try to find it. Going to be blocked up by Hylissang's shield, but they are okay breaking down the support tank.
The ulti from Power of Evil.
Tries to get carried up, but gets exploded by the charm, soloed out by Febiven. And the chase continues now. Gilius jumping back to his teammate Cleaver. Going to hit Hylissang. He jumps back to the Kog'Maw, though. Vizichachi off on the sides. Can he make anything happen here? lots of pain coming through. Tidal Wave
Oh, he kills him.
does clip Hylissang and takes him down. 2 kills picked up, and the charm onto Vardogs. He has to flash away. Does barely survive. The Kog'Maw clone, though, putting out some good damage, but it's still going to fall. Mid turret goes as well.
These last 2 team fights, H2K coming out on top perfectly with their ultimates. Hjarnan didn't even use his in that fight. And the fact that Power of Evil overextended to use his Petrifying Gaze on multiple people cost him his life and the rest of the team fight, even though Cassiopeia is more of a sustained damage champion.
They wanted the upfront burst. They thought they could turn the fight around and just go for it off the stun. Did not quite happen. He thought he could take down the AD carry. Ooh. All right, Gilius waits out some spells. Does not have the kick, so no reason to go in. Bubble's going to land on a Vizicsacsi. And looks like a safe disengage, but look at this. Unicorns of Love are pinging onto Baron, and all of H2K are recalling back to heal up. This could quickly be a dead Baron.
Yeah, it's a Kog'Maw with Blade of the Ruined King, Trinity Force, and Bioarcane Barrage maxed. They are ready to take this.
Home guard is bought, but the 2 who recalled H2K are coming in to defend. 3 and then 2 coming in just a second later. No ulti for Cassio. Damage coming down, Baron losing health rather rapidly. Ulti by Trashy, revealed out by some wards. Are they going to stay in this one? They are going to peel off, and in comes Febiven, blocked up by the shield of Hylissang, though. A lot of damage coming through, down below half HP. They are engaging.
Oh, the bubble
onto Vardogs, 1 for none so far. Odwamna pulling attention on the side. Charm hits Vizicsacsi. Good disengage by H2K. Gilius low on health, but no, they're going to catch Odwamna. Maybe not quite enough, though. He actually gets away. Another slow comes down.
Wow, just a crazy fight right there. We ended up seeing Hylissang die, but they stopped the Baron.
That is exactly what H2K wanted. Pick up the kill, force your opponents away, heal back up, buy off your previous team fight win, and H2K now sit on a 2,000 gold lead when it was UOL up 3K before.
Wow, just back and forth, back and forth. And now, finally, Azonia's completed on Power of Evil. He needs that for these fights because he is dropping so quickly and he needs to just stay alive. Even if he just throws out a miasma at his feet or whatever he can do, it's definitely worth it to have that Zonia's Hourglass.
And maybe that will keep him alive here. Honestly, no, not even a glimmer of a Mikhail's Crucible coming out from Vizicsacsi is a little concerning. I understand, not Vizicsacsi, Hylissang. I know he does need tank stats. He's been getting charmed and taking the brunt of the damage in the front lines, and selfish tank stats are pretty worthwhile, but also the fact that he is not able to remove charm from other people is a really tough situation to be in, because you need both and you can't afford them.
Well, Febiven is landing charm after charm.
Yeah.
The cooldown reduction build is actually paying dividends for him with the Athenes alongside the DFG. 3-0-7, another deathless game for him so far.
He is pulling most of the weight here for the team. Unicorns of Love, though, they want to siege this one. This is how they try to press advantage. Vizicsacsi pulls aggro, gotta be a bit careful.
Speaking of pulling weight, he's off on the side, not pulling his weight. Not a part of that wave clear at all, and it's one of the reasons that UOL decided to siege up the mid. Dragon in 19 seconds, starting to form up for it.
Unicorns of Love are in the right spot for this time. Gilius needs to land his smite properly this time. This would have been a gold lead UOL if he had secured Dragon, instead of the other way around. Miasma used to try to push the team backwards a little bit more. And you're seeing ward control come down, dodging away from the slows. Dragon now back alive. Trashy has ultimate and full ferocity. Every ult and almost every single summoner is up right now on both sides. Dragon is pulled. Hylissang in the front lines. Vardogs playing a little bit forward, though. It's a bit of a threat there. Again, Miasma used to try to zone away Dr. Mundo. More damage being done to Dragon here.
If the team loses this fight substantially, their base will be cracked.
Miasma zoning, where is it right now? Not up at this time. Power of Evil actually fairly low on mana.
Trashy ultied. Trashy gonna go. Hylissang's caught.
Gets the root, and Hylissang takes a whole bunch of damage. He's gonna go down to Febiven. Odwamna in the front line, taking everything, and Vardogs gets bubbled up.
In the back.
Into the back line goes Febiven, flashes away, and he's gonna stay safe. Power of Evil has to flash away. Kills going everywhere. H2K getting everybody right now, and there's not enough damage coming through. That is Vardogs just reviving and dying, only bringing down Hjarnan with him.
They almost clean ace them, and Hjarnan dies off of the Acathian surprise. They're going to go straight for this Baron because Dragon is just chump change at this point.
4.3 thousand gold lead, and it's going to be more. Let's watch that fight again.
Oh my god. Febiven again goes crazy. Hits him basically max range. Hylissang tried to fade back. AOD, great tidal wave down the entire lane of that Dragon. Then Febiven he dips out of the fight, and then he comes back in with his skill shot. But by that point, a lot of people were so low and were focusing him that Zirene was doing the brunt of the damage at that point. And he wasn't low until later, because you have to kind of swap targets. When an Ahri goes over the wall, you're like, oh god, okay, let's swap now.
Yeah. In a team like this where you can't threaten the backline, your frontline had better darn well stay tanky and survive the onslaught. But you're seeing how fast Hylissang is dying. 0-5-2. He's doing what he can. The Unbreakable comes up, but Lee Sin, split push Yorick, and Rom just seems to not be enough tank line here for Unicorns of Love. Zirene is ripping through everybody now in the late game. Febivin basically has free reign to go wherever he wants. There's so little crowd control available to his Unicorns of Love lineup. They can't stop everyone from doing this.
Yeah, Power of Evil, I believe his ultimate only hit Trashy that last time, when that is one of their biggest team fight tools. If you land that ultimate on multiple people, it's kind of like an Orianna ultimate. It can be game-changing.
Right now, it's not the case, though. Power of Evil having a hard time navigating the fights now. 2, 3, and 4. Doing whatever he can, though, to keep his team afloat. There is still the chance for a gigantic team fight for Unicorns of Love. They're only down 4,500. They do have the potential for a 5-man stun from the Cassie ultimate. If they get that, H2K is going to be in a world of hurt as Vardogs breaks people down. He's going for his 3rd item now. Zeal plus a pickaxe, kind of a strange mix. We'll see if he can break anyone down. H2K gonna shove the top lane as a almost full team. Odwamna will split push bottom lane.
You're gonna have to see split push here from Odwamna. Every time he split pushed against Vizicsacsi in the past, hasn't worked out too well for him.
But this time around, his team's ahead by so much.
Yeah, his team will continue to push this down. That team of UOL, they need their primary tank. Because have you seen Febivin? Febivin just shredding through people with Charm and DFG. It is a little disgusting.
And he's got a Void Staff and a Death Cap as well, so you know nobody's going to withstand the damage up into this Ahri. The same kind of threat just isn't here right now for Unicorns of Love.
Oh, they just rotate middle off of this.
Ooh, look at this one. Into the inhibitor they go. The recall, another teleport used by Vizicsacsi, but this turret is going to die so fast right there. Can they find the engage? Charm and Gilius half HP already, forced to jump away. Turret's at half health as well. Didn't take much from H2K.
And both junglers about half HP, but there is a Baron buff. Actually, yeah, there is a Baron buff on H2K. It's just not on Zirene.
Yeah, he's the only one who died in that fight.
Yeah.
Now back to top lane tier 2. H2K playing aggressively back and forth, forcing their opponents to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Now this turret also down a half HP. Hylissang late to the show.
Where are the wards? You will need wards across this transverse. And then they'll be able to see when H2K pulls a rotation like this. They're starting to get them out. I'm seeing them being dropped now.
Yeah, but back and forth they go. Odwamna, again, gonna hold this mid lane, push it up, get it ready for the siege. Team's gonna regroup to the top lane again. Charm and Gilius,
oh, he's gone!
He is absolutely gone. Charm into death every single time. Top lane tier 2 is gone. They could get any other turret they want. 40 seconds of 5v4.
I guess you can't give Febivin, Orianna, Yasuo, or Ahri, because he is just wrecking people right now. The taunt lands and somebody dies.
Deacon up, Vizicsacsi, couple hits from dead, trying to run away. Ignite is on and he will go down. Pop the ult onto himself. AOD claims the kill. And it's an easy disengage now. 23 seconds of 5 versus 3. Vizicsacsi only.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's actually a lot of damage. Febvin's got to be careful. There comes the engage on in though. Trashy forced to run away. Hylissang in the front line. So Odwamna just so tanky in the front though. Turret goes down. Zirene going to knock down the inhibitor as well. 10 seconds of power play. And that is the first inhibitor of the game at 39-30.
Wow, so H2K, they end up getting themselves an inhibitor. They get themselves an inhibitor turret. They get themselves a top turret. And their rotations are just on point now. And they get themselves a substantial gold lead now, sitting at about that 8K mark.
And it could be game now. H2K got completely dominated game 1 in like 38 minutes. Pretty convincing game. 33 actually, I think it was. And it was just wonderful with Unicorns of Love. Game 2, they came back just as strong. 38-minute win themselves, just dominating the entire time around. Great ganks by Trashy set that up, and they were crushing. This time around, neck and neck. These guys were nearly tied for most of the game, but it's Febivin making the plays in the team fights, and Zirene cleaning up. Now dominating late game.
Yeah, the 5-0-12 from Febivin. AOD, once again, getting himself the Zeke's Herald, the 4-0-7.
He's got a better score
Yes,
than
he
Yarn
does.
does.
He has a better score line than his AD carry. The Archbishop has come.
Yes.
Uh,
You can't be Angel of Death without getting the second most kills in your team.
that's true. That's true.
He has secured a lot of them.
Oh, man. This game, back and forth, you cannot ask for a better series here between these two teams. They are putting up a fight, tooth and nail, for this guaranteed spot after winning this game.
We're going to see if H2K can close it out. Typically with a lead, they're playing around the objectives, they're playing around vision. They're a bit controlled in their style, a bit slow at times, but they almost never give up any advantages. Unicorns of Love, they've pulled comeback wins before. They still have the potential to turn fights around. They've got so much damage available with Cog, Cassiopeia.
They're going to be late to this. A lot of them are back. No, Odwamna stop the back.
Ooh, Odwamna does not stop. Many of them looks like the entire team will be here in time, but the top lane turret down to half HP. Yarn at half health himself, though. Will they engage in this one? They want to get in. AOD gonna flash over the wall, gonna find Trashy. They're gonna try to kick someone in. He flashes out, though. Charm's gonna miss. Unicorns of Love, can they find their way in now? Ulti pop. There's the Unbreakable. Hylissang gonna stay alive. Two-man knock him, and here they go on in. Odwamna gonna drop down Hylissang, and now Power People knocking him into the air. In comes the engage. Gonna chase down towards Vardogs. Not the kill picked up just yet, but it's 5v4 for the inhibitor, for the game, for the finals, and a spot in the promotion tournament. H2K still trying.
Wow, Gilly is just getting chunked down there. So low. There's so many damage threats here from H2K. They're looking to close this game out.
And they're going to land the root, and Power View forced to Zodia's the shutdown on Nami. Vizichachi's trying to wreak havoc in the back line, but they have traded back in the mid laner. Febiven so uncomfortably low. Odwamna drops as well. Febiven, he's going to go down.
Oh my God, he has so much damage.
He tries to take down Vardogs, but the rocket jump makes him die. And in their base, Unicorns of Love ace them and try to defend the Nexus turrets. The first one goes down to minions, but they will hold on.
It's an absolutely crazy game right now. Vizichachi comes in, and he does so much damage with that Muramana and the Trinity Force. Every time he uses an ability, his Q, he smacks them for about half their HP. He gets into the fight by flanking and TPing, and then he comes up big.
And look at this, Vardogs and Vizichachi have 30 seconds to duo this Baron. They will get it as they hold their base alive.
Watch this, he TPs behind them. He comes in, smacks AOD, he's dead. Walks up, Yarden is hitting him this entire time. He's like, no, I don't care. I'm going after these guys. Kills another. Gets to Febiven. Smack. He's dead too. Gets to Yarden. Finally killed by Vardogs mid-air. That was a full house. Yorick's over Kog'Maw.
Yorick's over Kog'Maw, man. This is looking a little bit better for Unicorns of Love. They are holding the base alive, but they are still with 2 dead inhibitors. That rocket jump was silly by Yarden, to be fair, but it is a team fight win for Unicorns of Love. They can sit there on the dead inhibitors and just gain gold and experience. Hylissang especially, I think, really needs levels here. He needs to be with every single wave that dies. He's got the Locket finally done. He's getting another health item right now. Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper now done for Vardogs, so he's at 4 items. Same number of items that Yarden has. Problem is he's missing an Infinity Edge though. And that means it's a little bit of a damage loss for Vardogs. But he's still Kog'Maw.
Yeah, the Infinity Edge would be really helpful right now on top of his Phantom Dancer, his Trinity Force crit. Right now he's got the Last Whisper as well.
So Vardogs is relying really heavily on the percentage health damage, but the actual auto attacks themselves just not as threatening without the crit modifier. Eventually I think you would sell Triforce for that, assuming you don't just go 5 offensive items. We'll see what happens. Odwamna, that looks like H2K, despite being down Baron, they want to keep the map control up. I think they can actually guarantee a dragon for themselves by simply keeping the wards up, knowing that UOL are stuck inside their base. There is literally only 1 turret left alive for Unicorns of Love. There is a lot of landscape to go through. Even if Unicorns aces them again, they can't end the game, whereas H2K would.
Yeah, those super minions are going to continue to push into that top lane, and H2K, they're going to try to systematically pull Unicorns apart. It sounds gruesome.
It's true, though.
But it's going to happen. At least that's the attempt.
Sell the horn for scrap.
Ah, for the ivory.
The hooves going to make some glue.
I don't even know if unicorn horns are made of ivory. Unicorns aren't real. Oh,
maybe they're made of silver.
Ah, that's true.
It seems like the mystical element, you know?
Silver is the mystical element.
Well, I mean, like, it kills ghosts and, like, vampires and stuff.
What?
Not vampires. Kills
Werewolves.
Werewolves, sorry. Close enough. I didn't watch Twilight. I'm sorry. I don't know my vampire lore very well. That was the trolliest thing I could have possibly said. That was great.
Did you mean to be trolling?
It was supposed to be offensive to everyone who actually really likes like vampire mythos.
Oh, so you were just trolling about the silver?
No, that one I just got wrong.
Oh, okay.
But Vardox is stuck in his base while the siege is happening from H2K, though. They are about to close this game out, even despite getting aced and losing Baron. Odwamna in the front lines, trashing there as well. Bubble into Vizichachi, who cannot flank right now. Not just yet anyway. Hylissang, a bit tankier himself, has some shields.
And H2K, they have some windows here because there's so many super minions on the left side of the base right now. Vizichachi has to deal with them, and they're trying to siege up.
Ooh, but he hits back. The minion pressure is gone.
Can Power of Evil get a good ultimate in the next fight? Can he decide the entire game with this play?
You gotta see, man. This could be big for either team. If H2K can no longer win team fights because they've been outscaled, they have to somehow, with their guile, find a way into this game. Of course, they have a lot of room to work with. Again, if they lose a fight, they don't lose the game. Because if they win just one, they end it. Unicorns of Love cannot make mistakes here anymore. But they just might be the stronger team.
They've stalled it out long enough. With Yorick, a lot of fights turn into 6v5s. Odwamna is huge. He's very hard to shred through. So it's on Vardags. He is on his way to that Infinity Edge. He's got the pickaxe. He's got a red pot ticking. His team.
He has to play well around Ahri. Hylissang must block the engage of Ahri, or that Cog is dead 100%. There is still no Mikhails. There is no cleanse. There is no way out for Cog if he gets caught.
At the same time, a lot of squishy members on the side of H2K. If Power of Evil can get an ultimate onto Thebevin, he's most likely gone. If he can get an ultimate onto Yarnan, they can possibly blow him up too. But you have to pop that Banshee's Veil first.
Odwamna, full items, all tank. He is big. Is that 5,000 health?
Very close to that.
Pretty big Mundo. And he can always run at the back line and make Vardogs kite away from him. He can soak up a lot of damage here. But if any champion kills a Mundo, it is a Kog'Maw. As long as you can stay safe. That is the requirement. The Cog requires safekeeping because he's just so immobile himself. But if it works, man, do you crush front lines.
Oh, yeah. Almost 50 minutes.
Thornmail, also done. Vizichachi.
Oh, yeah.
Started out with a split push build. Frozen Heart and Thornmail now completed. He is really good at taking out Hjarnan. He is going to tank that damage so incredibly well. And Hjarnan actually stymied his build a little bit. Thing is, I think Hjarnan's pretty safe here. I don't think he needs a Banshees, because nothing can really reach him. And to me, like having another Bloodthirster or like a Fan Advancer added to actually break through Vizichachi's tank stats would actually be an improvement.
I don't know. He's got the Zeke's Herald, which will help him a little bit.
That's true. That's why I say Fan Advancer. I think your lifesteal holds up against Thornmail, but 30 more crit is massive. You hit attack speed cap. Like Rapid Fire becomes kind of useless.
That's true.
But 30 more crit is such a big damage increase. And then you can just like sell for like Merc Treads or Boots of Swiftness even. I don't know. It's honestly really close to call. Or, like, safety is an important stat, to be fair. If you do get caught, you lose the game.
AOD, hit with the Sonic Wave, no Resonating Strike follow-up. Vizichachi, though. Get poked down a bit. Oh,
gonna land.
Arm.
Vizichachi, half HP. That guy just got chunked out by Triss. That build seems to be working after all. Odwamna still in the front line. He's got great regen, though. Ghoul's wreaking a bit of havoc, but Hjarnan is continually killing these waves away. The poke from Cog not doing much. They're going to have to force the zone as a Power of Evil. And there goes Evan, forces the flash away. Now can they engage though? And Hip goes down. Unicorns of Love cannot force them away in time.
They start the engage afterwards. And the Zhonyas from Power of Evil, well played there. And the flash afterwards.
But a good bubble by AOD to force that in the first place. That bubble earned them the inhibitor, and it might just earn them Baron as well.
It's the Archbishop. Show some respect.
He's doing great. Red buff.
Baron in 4 seconds.
Unicorns
H2K.
of Love look like they want to force this. Mid-hip is probably the best one to die for them if they want to pressure this, but they're like, guys, we don't know where they are. Are they trying to do a bush trap?
They're trying to do this as fast as possible. And UOL trying to just clear minions out, keep H2K out of their base. Now all these combat stats on H2K ready to roll, ready to knock down that Nexus and claim their spot in the finals.
And they might get there before Cog can complete his big item that would kill the front line here. That eye edge so useful for this fight, and he can't get it yet. Actually didn't even sell for like a BF sword. He's staying on his pickaxe here.
Trash
this could be the game-winning fight. Ranger ulti used. The team is sieging the top lane with a Baron buff. Bubble's going to miss. And Visitach is going in, trying to force back. Oh my god, so much
they're
damage.
the back line.
Hylissang tanking up everything. And they have forced H2K backwards here. But a big wave in the mid lane. This is going to take the next by itself if UOL do not stop it this second.
They have to deal with this. This is a catch-22 for them.
And it's going to be a dead inhibitor at the end of it all because you cannot give up your Nexus. H2K, they know Kog is right there to defend, but they're still going to work their way in. The turret is going to be taking damage.
Oh,
going to be falling pretty soon. Oh, Dwamna going to go in, and that's going to be a dead Rengar. The engage, Braum, Lee Sin both fall. 2 for 1 so far.
Oh, the bubble!
The Zonias actually last long enough, and that's a kill onto everybody. This is going to be Unicorns of Love getting aced, and then H2K going to pull it back in Game 3. A slugfest of a game, 52 minutes, but that will be the Nexus blowing up. H2K have made the LCS promotion tournament, and they are into the finals against SK Prime.
And AOD's play at the end there shows why they put him back in over We Will Failer. He just ruined that entire game for UOL. That entire turtle was stopped, and they almost won that fight right there.
They really did, man. That was a close freaking game. Unicorns of Love tried to turtle it out in the end. Unfortunately, the Yorick Cassiopeia just couldn't quite do it. I was kind of hoping it would. It was fun to watch for, but H2K, you can't say anything except for the fact that they deserved this series.
They definitely deserved this series. It was very hard fought. H2K, you know, in a more vulnerable state than we saw them in Summer Series 1 when they took the finals, and then Summer Series 2 when they ended up forfeiting and having some internal problems. But AOD back on the roster over We Will Failer, and his bubbles this game were ridiculous. He landed so many clutch bubbles, even during laning phase, levels 1 through 3, when we watched him a couple times. So much pressure in that lane. He knew how to position the bubble so that you could not escape it if you're pinched against a wall. It's very, very, very good. You can tell he's very practiced on that champion. And I think that putting him back in is a very wise decision by H2K. And he's still undefeated. He has not dropped a series.
Yeah, and it's been a really good team. H2K, I got to say their bot lane, I think, is their #1 strength.
Yes.
Garnet and AOD absolutely dominating this entire series. Even when they lost, they still held up pretty well. Febiven, as long as you don't give him a late-game champion who's going to lose his lane, you saw how well Power of Evil did against Febiven in lane. Pushed him around a little bit on Cassiopeia, but the difficulty was that Trashy was there. And Trashy got mid-ganks without being counter-ganked. There were not enough wards downs by UOL to spot Rengar coming in. You did not have Gilius around to counter-gank on the Lee Sin. I thought maybe the early game pressure of Lee would do it. They couldn't hold Trashy down.
Yeah, they couldn't do it at all. Man, just the amount of jungle pressure that the team put forth as like a whole unit was what got them game 2 for H2K. Game 1, same reason. The fact that Gilius was able to pressure Trashy. Game 3, everybody kind of played a little safer. It was back and forth. And yes, exactly. I talked about how much stress and how nervous you are in that situation, how much you want to win it, how high the stakes are in that final game because there's no room for error. And everybody just closed their kind of like their playbooks and said, all right, we're going to play it really safe. And you saw how scared everybody was of losing this game.
But they did it, man. 52 minutes and 8 seconds. That's the game. H2K will make the finals. Now, guys, with that series now in the archives, the Challenger Summer Finals are now set. On Friday, H2K Gaming will face SK Gaming Prime in a best-of-5 matchup for the title. That will take place live on the LCS stage in Cologne.
And the battle for 3rd place and the final spot in the 2015 Spring Promotion Tournament takes place tomorrow between Ninjas in Pajamas and Unicorns of Love. That best-of-5 will also take place in front of the live studio audience in Germany.
And the European LCS playoffs kick off tomorrow. It's Super Hot Crew going up against Rocket in a best-of-5. That game will be followed by the European Challenger 3rd place match.
It all begins at 4:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. with a brand new LCS preview show.
And that's going to be all for us here today. But before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. And on behalf of myself, Zirene, and the entire live broadcast crew, good night. Thanks for watching. GG. So Febiven shows up, Gillies takes a whole bunch of damage, and Braum can not quite save him, but Sharn then goes down to a great ult from Cassiopeia. Bardogs gets bubbled up
into the
back line goes Febiven, flashes away, and he's going to say same power of evil, has to flash away, kills going everywhere. H2K getting everybody right now, and there's not enough damage coming through. But actually trying to wreak havoc in the back line, but they have traded back in the mid laner. Febiven so uncomfortably low, drops as well. Febiven, he's going to go down.
Oh my God, he has so much damage.
He tries to take down Bardogs, but the rocket jump makes him die. The engage, Braum, Lee Sin both fall, 2 for 1 so far.
Oh, the bubble!
The Zonias actually last long enough, and that's a kill onto everybody. This is going to be Unicorns of Love getting aced.